But you went even further than the report because you called MPs who wittingly or unwittingly helped foreign agents traitors. That's a very strong word. What makes you believe that those people are traitors?
On paragraph 164 of the publicly available report, the report goes through and outlines some of the steps that were some of the concerns that were raised. And they talk about sensitive Canadian information, government information being revealed to foreign intelligence officers. They talk about undermining of Canada's interest. They talk about people receiving public funds knowingly or in some cases that they're willfully blind, receiving foreign funding for their campaigns. All of that is clear to me behavior that is of someone who's a traitor to Canada. There's no other way to look at that. And so I maintain that, and it is deeply concerning, and I maintain my criticism of both the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, having known about this and not taken sufficient action, and Pierre Poilievre, who I believe is disqualified as a leader when there are clear allegations of foreign interference that directly touch on his party, and he refuses to even know what's in that. What are those allegations? What are the details? To me, that disqualifies him as leader. No leader that puts the interests of their party beyond the interests of the country has any merit leading the country.
And I'll get to those leaders in just a moment and what should be done about them. But I wanted to ask you, what do you think should be done about those members of Parliament or former members of Parliament that are being called traitors? What action should be taken against them?
Well, I've said that there has to be a way that we let these parliamentarians know that we know what they're up to. There has to be a way that does that doesn't undermine national security. And
but just let them know, or do you think that there should be something, should there be charges against them? If you're calling them traitors, do you just want to call them out, or do you want some more action against them?
Well, I think the NSICOP report does a good job of saying that some activities are illegal and should have resulted in criminal action or criminal charges, but unlikely because of changes to the law. So we need to make sure the laws are stronger to allow for those charges to be laid. And then all of the behavior is characterized as unethical. And so one of the things that we can do as party leaders, and I've said this is a responsibility of every party leader, to make sure you look at the information that's available. And then we vet out people in running for our party based on an egregious tweet or an egregious social media post. If there is information where they're alleged to be involved in foreign interference, that should be grounds for that person to not sit in caucus and certainly not to run under the party's banner. So I would call on all party leaders to do that. I can say on my behalf, nothing that I've read and none of the information I've received gives cause for me to take any additional action. I'm wording it that way very specifically for national security interests. But I call on every leader to do the same. Look at the information and make sure that no one is allowed to run in an upcoming election who has allegations of foreign interference.